when you're adding fractions together, you need to make sure that you have a common denominator. Once you get a common denominator, then you can start adding the numerators together, and the denominators stay the same. In this example, you need to be a little careful because there's this negative sign out in front of this fraction. Now, it's important that you're going to take this negative, and it applies to the entire fraction. So you can't just apply it to the 2t. You need to apply it to both terms in the numerator. So you're going to distribute a negative through to both of these and end up with a negative 2t plus a negative 7y all over 8t. Now our other fraction will just stay the same. So now we can go ahead and add the numerators together. So we're going to go ahead and get negative 2t plus a negative 7y plus 8t minus 4y all over 8t. Okay, because remember, the denominator stays the same when you're adding fractions. So now we can go ahead and combine like terms up here in the numerator. We have a negative 2t plus 8t, and that gives us 6t. And a negative 7y minus 4y, that's the same thing as a negative 7y plus a negative 4y, which gives you a negative 11y. So we write minus 11y over 8t. And I can see here that I cannot common factor any value from the numerator, right? There's nothing I can divide both of these terms by, so I cannot common factor anything out, and so I know I can't simplify this any further. So this is my answer. You need to be careful. Some people try to simplify the 6 and the 8 here because they're both even, but remember the 6 is stuck to this whole thing, 6t minus 11y, okay? Because of this minus sign here, you can't do that. Okay, let's look at one more example. Now this one's pretty similar. We got common denominator, but we have subtraction here. So this subtraction sign is very similar. We're going to treat it a lot like we did that negative out in front of the other example we did. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this subtraction to addition and change the sign of the fraction on the right. So I like to put that kind of in parentheses. And so you're basically distributing that negative into both of these terms. So into both terms in the numerator of this fraction. So the first fraction stays the same, 8w plus 6x over 4w. And that's going to give you plus a negative w plus 9x. And that's because a negative times a negative is going to give you a positive. Okay, so the denominators are the same. We took care of that subtraction. So we're going to go ahead and combine these together. So that gives you plus a negative w plus 9x, all divided by 1, not 1, but 4w, right? Because the denominator stays the same. Okay, so we add our like terms. We have 8w plus a negative w, that is going to give you 7w. And 6x plus 9x is 15x. And that's all over 4w. And you cannot common factor out anything from 7w plus 15x, so this is complete.